It all started with a single post to 4chan's export. An image. Under it, a caption reading, "If you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum humbuzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something moving around nearby, because it sure as hell heard you." When I think of the backrooms, I instantly think about the feeling you get when occupying a space that's meant to be crowded, but is completely desolate. Places that should be occupied or at least have people passing through them. Playing off the concept of empty and unsettling but somewhat familiar liminal spaces. It was the catalyst for what has become the awesome creepypasta known as the Backrooms. It spawned an entire genre of internet horror, leading to some pretty great games in Pools, The Complex Expedition, and my personal favorite, Liminal Core. Something about the combination of utter isolation juxtaposed by the always present feeling that you're being watched, or that something could be lurking, waiting for you around every corner, coupled by the mostly silent, sprawling mazes of nonsensical architecture, is such a perfect setting for an immersive first-person horror experience in a video game. And Kane Pixel's incredible YouTube series, even leading to a full-fledged theatrical release directed by Kane Pixels himself, produced by A24, which I personally am very excited for. And hopefully I timed this well with that. That being said, my name is Danny Peralta, and this is Diver Girl Art. And today I will be no-clipping out of reality to create a Backrooms-inspired diorama. The concept of no-clip Okay, well, it appears that I myself have no-clipped out of reality and found myself within the Backrooms level 0. And if you're at all familiar with the lore, this is not a good situation. Luckily my chair came with me because the carpet seems pretty damp, and it smells like a towel you forgot in the wash 3 days after a load of laundry. There's like this piss yellow hue over everything, and the loud steady buzzing from the lights is starting to make my eyes vibrate. But other than that, pretty good, I guess. I was able to acquire this hazmat suit. Something tells me I'm gonna need this because the air feels poisonous. I don't think the guy I got it off of is gonna need it anymore. And hey, look, he had an almond water with it. I am getting pretty thirsty. It feels like I've been here for days. Oh. Right. Shit. Well, I'll have to figure that out later. Anyway, he just so happened to also have this incredibly outdated looking VHS camera with him. And it's still got some battery left. This is gonna be a real pain in the ass to edit later. But hey, it's a good thing I already filmed the build. So here it is. Today we're making a Backrooms diorama. So let's cut to that while I figure out how I'm gonna get out of here. Alright, let's get this Backrooms party started. Starting off with the framework, I'm using foam core for the walls, floors, and ceiling. I'll be coating these in a layer of watered down Mod Podge white glue and some black paint to fortify the material. The black paint just helps me to better see where I may have missed on the surfaces I'm applying it to. Here's that iconic Backrooms wallpaper in that just beautiful shade of bile yellow. Oh, that hole? Don't worry about that hole.
Oh, that little guy. I wouldn't worry about that little guy.
Here's me struggling to make a straight line because I couldn't find one of my many rulers.
Idiot!
mapping out the lines for the ceiling tile here. This is just some white cardstock. I'll be very heavy-handed in the application of these lines to create a nice groove in the paper. There's another hole you shouldn't worry about.
Don't ask no questions, just give the money.
Now let's go ahead and lay down the wallpaper over a healthy spreading of watered down Mod Podge and white glue. Now onto the tiny trim work. I made the trim out of some scrap poster board I had lying around. Then I'll add some frosted binding cover to the ceiling for the light fixtures. The frosted plastic will help diffuse the light a bit as well. Now let's cut out a doorway to a secret room. A room that will look incredibly similar to the one we have already began constructing, which leads to us just repeating every single step we just did. Just kidding, we're just gonna add a tiny little mirror to create the illusion of another room. Now I'm gonna add some depth to those holes. Rather than put a black piece of cardstock behind them, I made these little boxes onto the giant pillar in the middle of the room. Made from foam core, these 4 pieces get the same treatment as the walls. Now let's glue them together. Just gotta wait for the glue gun to heat up. I'll be right back. I don't remember putting that there. Anyway, let's apply some of that wallpaper to this. I'm not sure what interior designer made that choice, but it certainly is a choice.
Make it work, okay?
Add some trim to the bottom. That's our oversized and somewhat out of place pillar done. Time for an inspiring little message painted on the back wall. A little sense of hope and encouragement for the unfortunate explorers that find themselves in this relaxing little lounge. Now some black goop seeping out of these holes. Not exactly sure what this black goop is, but one thing I'm sure of is it's not great for humans to interact with. I can confirm that fact. Now some arrows pointing to our exits, and I'll preface that by saying, never trust arrows in the backrooms. Some more black goop around the doorway. I'll add a little bit of grime to this wall while I'm at it.
The dirtier the better.
Now onto the ceiling. Let's wait for that glue gun to heat back up again. Be right back. Again with this thing. Now to add some depth to yet another hole, this time in the form of a missing ceiling tile. Now finally onto the models that will inhabit this cozy little nook. Starting out with the entity, the bacteria monster, also known as the Howler. Such a creepy design, especially with the absolutely terrifying noises it makes as it approaches you. What a nightmare that would be. I'm pretty much using nothing but metal and plastic binding coils for the body. Also just like half of I think they're called cubicle clips. I don't know. They look like this. That's for its head, or whatever the hell is sitting on its shoulders. A little bit of a heavy sanding all over before this next step. Onto a thick several layers of bacteria black. Kind of wish I had some of that black 4.0 for this. I think that would be pretty fitting for this model. But alas, all I have is regular poor people black paint.
What's your broke ass?
For this one, so that will just have to do. Now it's about here that I realized I was making him way too short. Let's give it a little leg lengthening procedure. Just repeating the first steps, wrapping the binding coil around some armature wire, repaint, and voila, we have our completed bacteria monster. I really like the way that turned out. And it was pretty fun to make too. I like working with binding coils. I would never have thought to use that in previous projects. This was the perfect model to start out with. Plus I work in a print shop and this stuff is pretty abundant. Back to the room. I wanted to add a little old school black and white tube TV. I had this little toy TV from Temu lying around that will work perfectly. Plus I don't have to sculpt it. This build is taking a lot longer than it looks. Let me know in the comments if you recognize what's currently playing on this screen, because I definitely did not. Now on to the message flashing on the screen of this little TV. A creepy little message that sort of encapsulates the theme of this build. And really the entire milieu of the Backrooms for me. This feeling that comes over you when nostalgia clashes with the dread of the unknown. This feels familiar, but it's just not right. Alright, time to wait for this hot glue gun to heat up again. Ow, damn it. I made this little TV stand off camera. Nothing special, just a poster board and some EVA foam. Next, this little ladder made from wooden chopsticks and coffee stirrers. A ladder that'll help us get into one of those holes we're not talking about. Seriously, don't even ask.
Don't even ask.
Back to the living inhabitants. Well, once living. Time to make our explorer, starting out with their thick aluminum skeleton as a sturdy base to work off of. Then we're gonna dress it up in a nice thin skin suit of clay. One thing I had in mind when planning out this diorama was to play with the scale. To me, the less sense that things make, more perplexing and unsettled the environment becomes. It feels familiar, but just looks off, which is why the bacteria monster in this explorer will appear much larger than the room. I'm making this model out of very horrible cheap clay because that's what I had at the time. Seriously, this clay sucks. It cracks and looks like absolute shit when it dries. Smoothing it with isopropyl alcohol like normal Super Sculpey or Cost clay just does not work. If you're in the market for some clay, spend a little more money on the good stuff. Trust me, it's going to save you a lot of time and energy in the long run, trying to polish a turd. I do kind of like the statue-esque finish it gave me, pre-painting, but yeah, it sucks. So I just sanded the hell out of it and covered it in a thick layer of gesso. The gesso helped me fill in some cracks and imperfections to achieve a smoother finish on the sculpt. Yeah, I had to use a lot of gesso, but it worked out. Followed by another thorough sanding and several layers of paint, and I think it turned out okay. The imperfections just kind of look like wrinkles and scrunches in the hazmat suit. Now on to the several layers of yellow paint. If you know anything about yellow paint, you know that the coverage can be pretty non-existent. So I went over a couple extra times to get the level of saturation I needed. Then the black paint for the extremities and the face shield. and a light layer of some weathering and grime. There you have it. Our very unfortunate Backrooms Explorer done. We're done. Now it's time to put all of our finished components together and drive this project home. I did the floors off camera, just some ivory printer paper to simulate the soggy tan carpet that covers the flooring in level 0. Time to glue everything in place. Add the models to their places, give it a once over, making sure everything is in order before we glue the roof down. We don't want to have to go back in there and tweak anything once that's done. That would be a pretty tight workspace if I made any mistakes. And the final piece to really tie this room together.
Yeah, man, it really tied the room together.
The lighting, with a piece of clear yellow plastic to get that disgusting hue that covers the entire level. And with that, our final step completed. And we have our awesome scene deep within the confines of the complex on level 0 of the Backrooms.
Right. Damn it. And there you have it. The Backrooms diorama complete. I had a lot of fun making this one. The build. Not this part. I really like making a model of the bacteria monster. Using all the binding coil and wire to make up all its creepy parts. Imagine running into that thing in this place. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. There's a lot more videos and brand new builds coming. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me return to the Backrooms for making something. Not this. Never this. Maybe another level of the Backrooms. Follow me on Instagram for all my more traditional artwork. Now it's on to the glamour shots. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. I hope.